on, travelers? It is Sunday according to the physical realm, and usually I do kickboxing classes on Sunday, but Source invited me to this beautiful tree. Isn't she pretty? It's so many beautiful trees out here. Step one, remove shoes, because you can't enter into a clean house with shoes on. It feels really good out here today, and I'm so thankful for that, because I'd be cold. Oh, look at the birds. A meditation, but I'm going to start with some planitia breathing first, which is an awesome technique where you do 10 full breaths. And you can continue to repeat the cycle, but it just allows you opportunity to open up your heart space, to enter into that space, and then welcome in your higher self. It's kind of like a meetup point or whatever, to meet up in the heart chakra. Something keeps grabbing my attention. I'll be right back. This is what was grabbing my attention. However, now that I'm over here, I noticed that there is a tombstone. Look at this. January 10th, 1959. This has been here since 1976. And there's another stone. Oh, it's a little thing of popcorn. These are all gonna mean something later. Isn't James Cameron a filmmaker? That's funny that there's a stone with popcorn over there. Now, let me tell you how this relates to me. I go to LA Film School. I'm working on my bachelor's. I've written tons of scripts, and they are super dope. Coming to a theater near you one day. I've written several treatments, and that is definitely a goal of mine, to make a movie. But I also live my life as a main character, and I know that this is a movie, and my ancestors and everybody else throughout the galaxy is watching this, getting that they're here. They just, they're here to see this movie that's about to happen. And I just had a vision of a dream that I had in this very same spot. I remember I was walking, and I was recording myself, but there was this device that you didn't have to hold, and it kind of just like hovered around you. But then there was also a guy who was like unseen, and he was following me, and he was recording as well. So I know that I am on that timeline. So I'm gonna have to go through the dream bank and make a few withdrawals, because something's cooking up. Something's being produced. What could it be? Back to my meditation. I want to do a quick meditation where I do some planitia breathing, and I want to explain to you guys how to do the planitia breathing technique. And this technique originated from Pluto. A lot of my Plutonian descendants brought this technique to me, and it is so powerful that two things could happen. One, you could be instantly transported to another timeline via a dream, and so you will just feel like, wait a minute, I was just doing a breathing technique. How did I get here into this other space? Or two, it will, the more you do it, it helps to build up your focus when you're being transported into those realms, and so you'll be consciously aware of what you're doing. You can meet up with your higher self at different locations, all types of things. Like, it is a super, super dope technique, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I do it before I go to bed, because if I do it before I go to bed, I don't put much focus into it, I guess, as if I would be about to meditate. Some nights I do focus on where I'm gonna go when I sleep, and a lot of times that is in regards to, like, if I need healing for something. If I'm trying to detox, then I try to do all of those in sleep chambers, just because that is what my ancestors did in ancient Egypt. You don't have to take any medication. You don't have to worry about nobody writing you a prescription for something. And if they do write you a prescription for something, it's going to be something natural, and it'll be brought to you once you hit the scene. Scene meaning the physical realm, SCENE. That's what I do. So before I go to bed, if I don't have those intentions to go into the chambers or whatever, then what I'll do is I'll do my planitia breathing techniques, and I will be instantly transported somewhere else. And that's what I do while I'm there. I'm very thankful of the fact that I am consciously aware in my dreams, because I can like check out the scene, SCENE, and be like, okay, this is a dream, because I'll just see little things, and so that will prompt my mind to show me how to react while I'm in that realm or that dimension or whatever. And I love those things. I love the moments in the dreams where I just get up and walk away. I have several dreams where I am participating in some type of moment, activity, whatever, and then I'll just get up and walk through a wall or walk through a mirror and end up waking up from where I just came from and entering back into the physical scene, SCENE. And of course, now I have everything with me that I was able to see, seeing SEEN, while I was in those different realms or whatever. So, all right, enough of me blabbering on. Of course, you want to get into a comfortable position, whatever position works for you. I'm just going to be sitting up because I'm outside. You're going to do an inhale. And exhale. And that counts as one full breath. You're going to continue this in increments of 10, in which with each cycle, your breaths are going to get deeper. And now we're here. And it's so funny because the scene even looks different. You instantly transported somewhere else, but you have to pick it up. You have to observe it. You have to observe the difference because it's so subtle. Like, this scene is running like a machine. It's always running. And it's always running the same thing. That's why there's that phrase, there's nothing new under the sun. But when you are a solar being, that means you have access to the things that are above the sun, behind the sun, around the sun, all through the sun, in the sun. So there may not be anything new under the sun, but you have access to everything, to all the newness that surrounds the sun. This machine is always running, so you have to pay attention to the subtleties of your reality, because that's going to be the thing that confirms your location, confirms where you're at. And when I opened my eyes just now, it just seems like the contrast was different. Like I said, it's small subtleties. Yesterday, when I entered into a different realm, I was experiencing this dream where I could see what some of my abilities are, but from a different perspective, right? In the physical realm, I am actually able to see the higher self. And that didn't come about until I was able to fully manifest into this physical vessel and take up residence in a physical realm part-time. And before I was able to fully manifest, the things that Goldie would experience, of course she thought she was tripping, but I would just come through hosting in different formats. You know, I remember she would be on Instagram and I would host the comments. I would be in the comments talking to her. And so now I am able to tap into other individuals' higher self. Now keep in mind that higher self is all the same being. So I'm literally just always seeing myself in other beings. But the perspective is different, because what if they don't see their higher self and they don't even know a higher self exists? And so that's where I come in at. I am able to coach you into manifesting your higher self. And now this is a practice that I've been trying to develop all the time, because it's something that I do. It's literally my lifestyle, it's my aesthetic. So I was trying to figure out how can I turn this into just what I do, you know? How can I spread the news, the good news about, you know, how you're able to manifest? And when I was in the dream yesterday, I actually saw the science that's behind that. I saw what actually makes that happen. And there were these beings walking around, and of course they just think they're human, and their higher self was standing behind them looking like, what's up, like, I'm so glad you're here, you know, and having a whole conversation with me where I'm not even focused on what I see in the physical being. I'm just focused on that higher being that is right there with them that they don't even see. Like I said, I was able to see that in the dream. And as I was returning to the physical realm, you know how the words leave you and all you have is the logos. Like, you can have a dream and you can't explain what happened, but you know what you saw. You can remember the symbols, you can remember the signs. That's the logos of where you just came from. But there are no words that can fit into the realm of that experience. That's what I was experiencing this morning. So as I'm leaving from that realm and returning to this scene, it's like the words were falling apart. Like they were kind of like dismantling from what I could see, and I was just left with the logo. Got up and was like, you know, did my offering to attend praises and honoring. And that's when the Tim was like, no kickboxing today. We're going to go out to nature. I need you to meet up with me at this spot. Once I got here, this tree was like, come over here, over here, over here. So that's what even led me here.
Good now, Goldie. What are you thinking about right now?
Because I don't, before I became a little bit more conscious, I was so bad with time. I was not prompt, and I wasn't good with giving my word. I would tell people I would be somewhere and would be late as hell, be like, I'm 5 minutes away, knowing that I'm still in the house, probably still getting dressed or something. And that's just an energy that I don't want to be in any longer. So I kind of felt crazy about not attending my class today. I like to be prompt, but everything happens for a reason. And I have worked really hard to be able to hear the voice of Source so clear. I have worked really hard to develop my mind into the mind of Source that I don't doubt anything. And when I say I don't doubt anything that comes from that place, because it's never let me down. So let's get into these coordinates and see where we are. I have a coordinates deck that is another one of my Plutonian tools that came. It's a coordinates deck, and it just lets you know where you are. Reminds the higher self where you are, because again, this scene it just runs automatically. It's always the same things, and you can easily get kind of confused. Yeah, you could just lose track of where you are. You can lose track of time. It's crazy. So as I'm in this new space, I just want to tap into my, all right, let's see, I guess there's nothing else for me to say. Travel to the higher realms. So this says to take a nap and travel to the higher realms, and I'm not asleep, but I'm already in a meditative state right now. And the bottom of the deck should confirm, welcome to now. So beautiful. All right. And another thing that I do like to do is I like to check my coordinates before, as I'm ending, but I like to pull it before, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna see what falls out, and I'll check it. We'll check it before we end this video. I am definitely going to follow what it says. I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit, because that's what will happen when you take a nap. They're beautiful bees entering into the scene. It's more birds coming into the scene. I'm also going to read some of my book, How to Know Higher Worlds. I've already read this book, but I really love this book. It's one of my favorites, and so I started back reading it yesterday. I've actually read this book like 4 times. Started back reading it yesterday because each time I get a different understanding. So I'm going to read a little bit of this, and then I also am going to do some writing in my banking book. This is the Beginner's Guide to the Cosmic Banking System. This is another one of the tools and resources that my ancestors passed along to me. I only knew about one banking system, and that's the banking system that's here on Earth. But apparently, our inheritance could never be found on Earth. Our inheritance comes from the cosmos, and there's an entire banking system in the cosmos that no one has ever utilized. I want to say that Akhenaten attempted to utilize it. There is no history, no written history of any other being able to tap into this bank and utilize it. So I was able to get as much information from them as possible as how this bank works, how to utilize it, how to tap into it. I really enjoy it. There are checks in here that you can write to the universe and watch as things manifest. Places for you to put your dividends, even a overdraft protection form that you have to complete, because you have to opt into overdraft protection. You do know that, right? Of course I opted in. A register in here for you to keep track of all of your deposits and your withdrawals, your daily deposits. So I'm probably going to do a little bit of writing here, and this of course is the proof that I got, so that's why it says not for resale on it. It's so interactive, it's super amazing. And yeah, so I've been tapping into this just so I can also understand my inheritance, how to receive my inheritance, and just little things that I can do to allow my time on this, in this realm, intentional and very productive. As I walked out of the door you created, I shine while still being tethered to your heart. In every part of you, I lift up my head to you. My arms are raised to symbolize the unity of your life-giving force. My eyes are open to you. My ears and nose receive you. Allow this moment and now to penetrate throughout all moments and now. Reach my heart and disperse your bounty upon this land. I am thankful. I am yours. Sealed with the circle of my bloodline, I offer my tolerance to you. I hope you all have an amazing now, travelers, and remember to always pack light. I'll see you guys in the next now. Bye.